Well, hello again, my friends. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm not going to be talking about makeup. Just like how in my last one I did a ranking of my top 10 favorite Christmas movies, I actually wanted to do a video talking about holiday themed books that I remember loving when I was a kid. So while you probably don't come to this channel for recommendations for children's books, I just wanted to talk about these ones. I thought that it would be a nice little, I don't know, video idea. Christmas is fast approaching, so running out of time to talk about these fun little things, so I'm going to take advantage. There are going to be 5 books in this video, so let's get started. The only one that I still actually have, or at least that I have here in this apartment, I imagine some of the other ones are with my mother at my parents' house, but the only one that I currently have in my possession is this one here, and it's a little messy. It's missing the outer sleeve. It's just like the hardcover. I don't know if you can see, the lighting is kind of weird, but this is an N. So this is the Nutcracker, this beautiful illustrated version of the Nutcracker. I think it was written by someone named E.T.A. Hoffman and illustrated by Roberto Innocenti. It sounds Italian. But this book is beautifully illustrated. I'm glad that I have this one so I can actually show you the illustrations. I hate that there's such a glare, but there's a lot of really beautiful illustrations in this book. This one it feels a little creepy at certain points in the story, but I think that's just the nature of the Nutcracker story. Like, the Nutcracker himself is a little creepy looking in this book, and like the Godfather character, there's so much glare. Okay. So you see the little Nutcracker, he's kind of creepy looking, and like the Godfather, I don't know, he's always like watching in the background, and I don't know, the Rat King is obviously mad creepy, but it's a really, really nice book, and you know, this is the size of like the print, at least in the version that I have. I did look up all of these books to see if they were still available, and I did find this one on Amazon, but it looks like not the exact same version that I have. It probably has all the same illustrations, I would think, but it's also just a little bit different. I'm just trying to find like a fun picture to show you. I don't know, it's really weird, the artwork and like the things that go on, but I don't know, I think it's a really fun book. I think that it's exciting, and the Rat King is creepy, obviously. I'm trying so hard to avoid the glare, but I don't know, this is just a fun one for the kids. I remember loving this when I was younger. I would look at the pictures and notice all of the weird little things that were going on, like in the background and stuff, because these pictures are like full works of art, and there's like stuff going on all over. I don't know, it's just like real artwork. I don't know. Speaking of real artwork, the second book that I wanted to mention is a really beautiful book. It's called The Christmas Candle, and it is by Richard Paul Evans and illustrated by Jacob Collins. The artwork in this book, I don't have it to show you, but they're like beautiful paintings. It's so beautiful, and the story that this book tells, I don't know, it's just very like cozy and comforting. It's a little, you know, emotional, but it's a really, really good one. It has a really good message. It's really beautiful, and I remember, you know, I loved it as a kid. I loved the artwork. I thought it was gorgeous, and it just kind of gave me the Christmas feels, you know? So that's definitely one that I would highly recommend. I wish that I had it here to show you, just to give you an idea of how beautiful just the artwork in the book actually is. There is a little bit of a religious aspect to it, but that's kind of to be expected. It is a Christmas book. The next one that I wanted to mention is actually not a Christmas book, but rather a Hannukah book. It's Hershel and the Hannukah Goblins. I loved this book when I was young. I loved the little goblins. I think my favorite one was probably the little red one. I don't know, he kind of like looks like a little devil, although the big scary like king goblin at the end is also pretty cool. I mean, he's scary, but he's cool. I think that this is such a fun book. The way that Hershel has to like outsmart the goblins to make them go away. It's been a while since I read it, but the concept of it is basically that he has to prevent these goblins from, I guess, going to the synagogue and messing with the menorah, or I can't exactly remember what it was, but the people in the town are afraid of these goblins that are going into the synagogue, and he has to make them go away, and so he has to outsmart them. It's a really, really good book. I really like that one, and again, beautiful, beautiful illustrations. The book is by Eric Kimmel. I guess he wrote it, and then the illustrator is Trina Shart Hyman. I don't know, it's a weird name, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But that's how it's spelled. I don't know. Anyway, the next book that I wanted to talk about is The Legend of Old Befana by Tommy DePaola. Now, he writes and illustrates his stories, and his most popular character is another one that we'll talk about in just a second, but he does do these other really beautiful books with these beautiful illustrations. He is obviously an Italian writer, and the story of La Befana is actually an Italian story. She's kind of the equivalent of Santa Claus in old Italian tradition. This one definitely has religious elements, but again, it is a Christmas story. It is the story of a woman who basically follows the same star that the wise men followed. I don't know. It's a good story. I don't want to like say too much, but it's basically Tommy DePaolo's retelling of this old Italian legend, and it's a really, really nice Christmas story. And then finally, I wanted to mention the other more popular character from Tommy DePaola, Strega Nona. There is one Strega Nona book. There's an entire series of Strega Nona books that I grew up with and everything. And there is one installment specifically for Christmas, and it's called Merry Christmas Strega Nona. Again, written and illustrated by Tommy DePaola. And it's such a beautifully illustrated book, like the bright reds and everything. She wears like this bright red cloak throughout the whole thing, and all of the Strega Nona books are like amazing and just great for kids, but that book in particular is a really great one for the Christmas season. Again, I'm obsessing over like the artwork in these books, but that was always the thing that struck me as a kid in all of these books that I would read or just look at. I loved looking at beautiful pictures in books, so that's another one that I think it would be fun to share with your kids, if you have kids, or if you are a kid. I don't know how many kids watch this channel, but so yeah, that is those are my 5 recommendations for Christmas and Hanukkah themed books. I know that this one was kind of out of left field, but I just thought it would be fun to do. I am still doing my month of Pat McGrath, so let me tell you what I'm wearing, and then we will end the video. So on my eyes, I am wearing the holiday palette from last year. This one here, I stuck mostly to these neutrals. What the heck? The neutrals down here. And then I also, this one is all over my lid. This one is like under my eye. This one's in the inner corner. And then I also topped this on my lid, but it wasn't quite bright enough, so I ended up going into some other things from this palette from the holiday collection this year. This one is Jeweled Temptation is the name. I used the blush for one thing, the new blush. That's what I have on my cheeks. And then I topped this gorgeous bright gold on the center lid. Really, really beautiful. And I think that was it for shadows from that one, but then I still was not satisfied and I still wanted to brighten things up. So I went into Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction, and I ended up taking this gorgeous shadow here. I put it like in here, and I think I also put some on my lid. Look at me, I don't even remember now. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just stuck with the one from the other palette. But yeah, I like illuminated in here with the bright, gorgeous, special shade from this palette. So yeah, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I hope that you enjoyed this one. I hope that you will check out these books. Like I said, I looked on Amazon. They are all still available. If I can remember, maybe I'll link them. Maybe I won't. But yeah, I hope that you are having a lovely holiday season, and I will be seeing you again very, very soon. Peace.